Hey, it's software student here. Today I'm going to talk about encapsulation. So encapsulation is one of the basic pillars in object-oriented programming. So encapsulation regards class construction and exactly how or what we are able to access, like at a given area of our program. So let's first create a class. To demonstrate, I'll just create an animal class. And I would give this animal a string name, and I would just do a constructor. So just a tip in IntelliJ, if you do Alt Insert on a Windows computer, you would be able to get this generate menu, where you can create a constructor and tell it which attributes it should use to initialize the constructor, and boom, it's nice and easy. So now we got a constructor, we could create our animal animal equals new animal with the name of bear. So now we have the name as an attribute of the animal. So by now it's default. In my last video I talked about these access modifiers. We have public, default, protected, and private. So when it is default, we would be able to access our string attribute from the class. As you can see over here, the file structure. So right now we're in the same package. And the default access modifier allow us to access it. So we could actually change it, or for example, get it right away. So if we just want to print animal.name. And we could run the program, and we could see it prints bear. Or we could try changing it, going animal.name equals not bear, for example, and run the program. Go not bear. So encapsulation means we don't want our attributes to be accessed if we don't want them to access. For example, the name could probably be something that's unchangeable, so we could make it private. And we still need a type and name. So now we would not be able to access name because it's a private attribute based on the access modifier, which makes it private. But now if we want it still, for example, it's optional though, that's the thing. So for example, if we don't want the name to be changed, but we want something, we want private, and now it's giving us a problem because we have more stuff that's undone. But let's just keep going. Private int age. And let's see, when we create a bear, we just set the age equals 0. And we wanted the bear to be able to age. So we still create the bear. Now we can't access our name. Then we can create methods, create public methods, which allow us to access our attributes if we want them to access it. So for example, we've got two basic methods. Again, you can use alt insert, or we can just create them. We've got a getter and a setter. So if we want a getter method, let's create a getter method for our string variable. So it's just simply public, access modifier, string, return type, and our method name. And we will always use get name. If it's get, which just returns the name. So now we would be able to get the name. We can't change the name, but we can still get the name. So if we want to print the name, we could do system.out.println, and we would do animal.getName. So now we're able to print the name bear, but we can't change it in any way. And now, like before, we can't just do animal.bear. It's not accessible. Oh, no, that name is not accessible. We can get the name, but we can't change the name. So let's say we wanted to create another get method, public. Now for the age, public int get age, and we don't need any input, and we would just return our age variable. So now we can get the age if we want it as well. Get age, and we could print the age of 0. But let's see, it actually is not, the bear is not 0 years old, it's actually a different age. We can create a setter method, which is kind of like get methods gets the value and set method sets the value. So we'll do public void, because it don't turns anything, it just do something. Public void set age. And we would give it an integer age, which means that we're giving it, we are allowing our program to tell us what is the age of the bear, of the animal. So we would use, so now, oh, that shouldn't be with a capital A. Always start with a small letter when we're doing the variables. But if we just do age variable equal age new variable, it would be confused because it's 2age. So if you remember from previously, we would use the this.age, which allow us to access our attribute. Previously, we just used this twice and setting this value to itself, which doesn't make any sense at all. But we would use the this.age to access our attribute and give it the value we want. So now we can do animal.setAge and set age to 3, for example. Now when we print the age, we can, let's just print it before. So we do animal.get, not name, but age. So first it prints the age, changes the age to 3, and prints the age again. So this is the basic concept of encapsulation, which is always keeping your attributes private, and then based on getters and setter methods, allowing us to determine which variables we want to change or we just want to be able to access. For example, if we don't want them to access it at all, we just like delete this. So now we want them to be able to access the name at all. With the name, it probably doesn't make too much sense, just keeping it completely private. But for example, if you had some kind of variable, some gene stuff, I don't know, something regarding animals you don't want to be accessed, which is something that's hidden inside the object. But for now, this is the basic of encapsulation. Hope you enjoyed and see you in the next episode.